what to do here. Take the e pawn and then say mate on g2, right? That's so simple. The problem is that once I take the e pawn, it says check. He doesn't say check. He plays rook f2, and then my queen doesn't have many places to go. The d1 square is guarded by queen, e1 square is guarded by bishop, and f1 square is guarded by rook, so my attack is doomed at this point. What to do then? I can then go up. I can even right now say check, right? I can say check at e3 after the king moves. If the king doesn't move, for example, rook f2, then I check at c1 and it's basically mate. So king moves, then I take the e pawn. Yeah, let's do it. No, I can safely take the e pawn, right? Because it doesn't have this trick of rook there. So let's do it. Oh, it does have, but it doesn't help him because I can just simply grab it and then that's it. Okay, let's do the next one. Push the pawn, say check. Moves the king. Once he moves the king, I'm thinking about I take the pawn with check. He moves the king up to h5, and then I push the pawn g5. No, I don't push the pawn g5. I should do something, or I can do something else right the way. I can take the pawn with check with knight. Takes back. I deliver check with the other pawn. Where does the king goes? With the g pawn g5. By playing g5 I make check, and the king can go to, if king goes to, no, king can go to g6, and that's fine, right? It doesn't give me any benefit. If it was possible to play g5 and then take the h pawn, it was awesome, but it isn't. Maybe it is. Maybe it is possible. Push the pawn, or directly say check with the knight from g8. If it takes it with the rook, then I push the g pawn and then I take the h pawn with checkmate. If he doesn't take it and move the king, so I'm mating. Okay, let's do it. Yes, this mating pattern, that the rook on the back rank, in the 7th rank, or sometimes in the reverse direction in the 2nd or 3rd rank, is mating king, is something that you should be familiar with, and the pawn structure that prevents king escaping. And usually at currently g4 is guarded by my rook. Sometimes it is guarded by pawn, sometimes it is guarded by bishop or knight. And since the king is in a corner, there is no room to escape. So this is a familiar pattern that you should know. And then the next step is to think how to reach to this familiar pattern. Like, I had to get rid of my knight without any delay, without any tempo, so the only way was to give check. First I thought about check on f5, but it wasn't useful because enables king, provides king escape room from g6. This looks like some familiar checkmate at h3, but the point is that he can escape to g4. I don't have a check at h3 at the moment. One thing I'm considering right now is rook f4 check, because if it takes, my queen can jump in However, it's maybe not the best way to introduce the queen to the mating attack. Another option is rook f2, but that's very slow because after that I want to play rook takes h2. That's a little bit slow because he's mating me at h8 with the rook. Right, my king doesn't have any escape room, so everything should be with check. And another thing I'm considering is just push pawn g4, and if he takes the g5 pawn, then it's immediate mate because queen. Is it immediate mate? I feel it should be, but maybe it isn't. I thought about queen f5, then he escapes to h4, and then I will mate it at g4. But he doesn't take the g5, he just takes the h4. If he takes the h4, then again I go to h3 check, and then he has one square, and then triangulated mate. So let's do it. This is a triangle, right? Queen, king, and rook, making a triangle to mate my opponent. So what's wrong with taking that bishop? What's wrong with going down there and delivering mate? The problem is that if I go down, if he takes with rook and then takes with the knight. But if I take the bishop first, no, I'm attacking his queen. He should help the queen to survive. And once he moves the queen away, he cannot take with the knight, of course, because I will mate it in the back rank, or I win a queen in the back rank. So he's okay. I think this taking this is force. And now I'm thinking about just take the rook. He cannot take it with the queen, right? Because if he take it with the queen, then we ending the game. So let's take the rook. But then I'm thinking about, if I take the rook, he doesn't take it, but he takes my bishop. He takes my bishop with the knight, and once he takes the bishop with the knight, what can I do? What can I do? I don't know. He takes the knight with the bishop. I can say check with the rook. I can. The bad thing about this knight is that the knight. Oh, what if I attack the queen once more? Bishop b2. Bishop b2, attack the queen and say go away. I want to take your rook for free. Yeah, because if I win the rook for free, then I have no problem, right? I have 3 pieces for a queen, and that's enough. So let me tell him I really want it. Okay, that was today's puzzle. I hope you enjoy. And yeah, I mean, this last one was just a calculation. After I attacked the queen, I thought about taking this, but this wasn't very helpful. Okay, even this is very good. This is a bad puzzle example of chess.com, but so this is not very helpful because now I cannot say check, or even if we take the here, I don't know what would be my response, because if I go back, for example, the pieces are even, or if I go here is even worse. Engine says that go all the way back, and I don't see what is the advantage here. It's like I have a pawn advantage, maybe pawn structure advantage, but the engine says -3, -4, but the one that you win a complete piece is a clear advantage. I hope you enjoy.